All right, we are live. We made it. Quite the setup this morning. We actually have a pretty good program today. It was supposed to be, there I am. We're supposed to be focused mainly on this drive-through. Then I was going to do this react video, if you will, to this gentleman. I think I still might do that. Maybe not today, but at some point do this react video, if you will, on this video. Thank you, John. This video was put out by this gentleman, Jamaican guy who actually, I forget where he was living in the States, but instead of retiring to Jamaica, he's decided to retire in Africa, in Rwanda, I believe. And yeah, he just goes through the whole process. I'm not sure if people have seen it. A few people have sent it to me, and I thought it was interesting. I actually didn't watch the whole thing, so we can kind of go through it together. However, today we're actually going to have a guest come on. They have a really, really awesome group that I actually just found out about. Little bit of spoiler alert, we sat down with Misty Memphis again yesterday, as a matter of fact. And so she told me about this group that was here. It's called the Black Exodus Group. They're a group of individuals, I believe they're from all over the world, as a matter of fact, who have left different parts of the world, Black people, and moved to Jamaica. And they had their first retreat, I believe, this weekend here in Negril. And they've been stopping in different places to support businesses and to show people around the Negril area. So I actually just met the leader this morning, and just randomly, I don't know if it's random, but we just met for the first time this morning. And they have the group here having breakfast or brunch. Not sure what you want to call it. They're actually making an announcement now. But anyway, we get to sit down with Israel. And like I said, I just met him for the first time. So I don't even know. I don't really know too much about the group. And it was just because Misty had told me about them, that I knew that they were coming to Travelers here. So looking forward to speaking with them. And of course, like we opened, like the title, I should say, is I have the drive-through of Negril. Like we started watching it last week, and I don't know if we want to start there, but I want to give everybody a chance to kind of catch up on the drive-through if you haven't seen it already. So we have parts 3 and parts 4 left. And so maybe for the early comers, we can just throw it up, and then we'll maybe do 3 and 4 later during the live stream. But yeah, of course, let me know as usual where you are chiming in from, what city, what state, what country. I love saying hello and knowing where everybody is from. Also have a few, let's get to the beach view. Sorry about that. I also have a few, I guess, updates on the channel and what's going on and what we have in the future. And we've been having a lot of really awesome podcasts. Like basically we've been recording and documenting them the last few weeks. So the team is putting them together, and we should have like a really good July of release and of real, I think, excellent, valuable information. Some people you've never heard of or are known before. Others you might recognize. And we have a lot more planned for basically right through July. We have a very, very packed July as far as podcasts go. And of course, we're gearing up for Thrivex, which is coming up in November. And a lot of great speakers that we're confirming, and different partners that we are going to be working with this year as well. So I want to go through a few updates with that, and we will kind of get the show going. So just going to say some quick hellos here. What's going on, Joy? Thanks for joining. Michelle, good afternoon. Hello, Rachel. Say hi to mom for me, please. STG, STW, what's up, kid? Good to have you on. Michelle, I've seen it, interesting, but Jamaica is just so beautiful. Yeah, Michelle was referring to the Africa video, the Jamaican gentleman who's retiring in Africa as opposed to Jamaica. I think it's like some of it I think is from what I've seen so far is unfair. Some of it is fair in terms of his criticism of Jamaica and his reasons for going to Africa instead. But I have my rebuttals and counters, but we'll get to that. Hopefully, it's a bit of a long video, so but I think it's worth it us going through. And I think even people who I will say, folks, most people who are a part of this community and are thinking about moving to Jamaica, or maybe they've made up their mind already, is that more likely than not, you have the means to and ability to probably move in other places of the world, but nonetheless, you're choosing Jamaica for your own personal reasons. But I think the decision-making process, I think is really, really important in terms of you considering all factors or as many factors as possible and making the decision that is right for you. And like I said, we'll go through the video. I thought it was pretty cool. And like I said, haven't seen the whole thing, so we'll kind of get some live reactions to the video. Hey Don, how you doing? Chiming in from Mississauga on this beautiful day. Awesome, it's beautiful here too. It's been so hot. And I've been saying this a lot, but it's been like really, really, really hot here, like hotter than normal, and it's just going to be the way it is. I think I just saw an article that Jamaica recorded like its hottest day in, I don't know, history, I believe, in recorded history, or of that particular day in June. So it's just interesting. It just these temperatures just like keep going up. All right, what's going on, Chris? Afternoon, watching from Panama City. Awesome. Always nice having you, man. GFam TV, it's chiming in from Sabo Beach. Good to have you. Chris Hill says, are tickets still available for your upcoming investment conference in October? Yes. So it's actually November 13th to November 17th. We still do have tickets available. And we haven't even started really marketing it, so to speak, only through speaking with you all on this live stream, and then also through the very subtle email marketing that we've been doing on our newsletters, I would say. But we're going to start putting out more an awareness campaign, if you will, with more information on what's happening, who's coming, and it's looking good. I don't know. I'm very, very excited for it. And like I said, we're changing gears, me and the team, and putting most of our effort and focus on Thrivex coming up in like 140 something days. I don't remember. We have a countdown on the website, thrivex.com. Paul McKinsey, hi Throp, watching from London, UK. Awesome. MDL, good afternoon, Throp and Throppers, chiming in from Washington, D.C. area. Awesome. Nice to have you as always, MDL. Okay, let's I guess, and if you already watched the first video of the drive-through, because I kind of wanted to start with part 3 and 4, but then I didn't want to assume like everybody saw part 3 and 4. So I will start it. If everybody is like, hey, we've seen this already, let me know. And man, do we want to start with the drive-through or do we want to start with this video? Let's start with the drive-through, and then we'll use the drive-through different parts as breaks. So we're going to start the live stream off with the drive-through. So again, part 1 of 4, and we'll come back and then we'll get into the video I was alluding to earlier. Hello and welcome. If this is your first time visiting, a special welcome to you. We got a special feature today. We are doing a driving tour of Negril, Jamaica, particularly focusing on the West End. And this is a bit of a long video. It's about 40 minutes. And depending on where you're watching it, this will be in different parts or one long video. My name is Winthrop Wellington, by the way, and here on my channel, we really discuss all things Jamaica. But today, as I mentioned, we're going to be doing a bit of tour of Negril, and we're just going to flow with it. We're just going to flow with it and see where this takes us. So we are starting this tour off on Norman Manley Boulevard, otherwise known as the Beach Road at Travelers Beach Resort, which is my family's hotel. And of course, we got wait for the traffic. But across there on the left side of your screen, that is our NEAT Resource Center, or the Negril Education Environment Trust Resource Center. NEAT is my family's nonprofit organization, which focuses on education for young people. So right now we're heading south on Norman Manley Boulevard. Pretty beautiful day, as you can see. I don't know what the temperature was when we filmed this, but it was nice. It was a nice day. And so we're heading towards downtown Negril, and on your left is the shared user path. So that's running, walking, biking, and that goes for a little bit over 2 miles. To your right is the Negril Beach Park. It has a basketball court and the beach, of course, and just really open space. Unfortunately, it's closed right now. They have plans to do some refurbishing. And then we just passed the Negril Community Center. And then we're also passing the craft market on your right side. And this is the South Negril River and Bridge. And we're heading to the Negril roundabout. Of course, going into the roundabout, you have to give way. And if you're in the roundabout, you have the right of way. And we are going west end, so we're going to be taking a right here at the roundabout and veering left. And so here downtown, this is a few shopping centers, if you will. There's Little Caesars Pizza on the right, Popeyes, Burger King. There's a Digicel store down here as well. And on the left coming up is Scotiabank, which some people might be familiar with depending on where you are from, but it's a Canadian bank. And I guess officially this is where the west end of Negril starts. And on your left here is Corner Bar, which is a pretty popular restaurant. Great local food. Haven't had it in a while, but the reviews continue to be very good. And on the left, that's Vendors Plaza. That's the Negril Chamber of Commerce owned plaza. And on the right, obviously, we have the sea. Unfortunately, I don't think we panned right, but you basically can see the entirety of Negril on the right-hand side if you were to look right. You need to get a 360 camera next time, right? Anyway, on the left is the Negril Post Office, not in the greatest of shapes, but that is our post office. And then right after that is Samuel's Hardware on the left. And that's, I would say, probably the most popular hardware store in Negril. Mostly every business uses them. And then on the left, the green building, that's Quality Traders. That's where I do my grocery shopping. Been going there for years. And then we're coming up on the, I guess what used to be the High-Low Value Master NCB Plaza, but NCB and High-Low moved. So that's no longer there, and that place is being refurbished. And this is called Church Corner. As we move through the West End. Just cruising. And this is the Negril Library on the left, and then followed by Negril All Age School. And then this is another hardware store on the left. Hope you guys are enjoying this so far. I'm just flowing with it, and as I see things, I want to point them out to you. On the right is the Negril Yacht Club, which is for sale. Hopefully, should be doing a video on that hopefully sometime soon. Canoe Bar is on the right. It's pretty much the only property on the West End that has a beach. Good food there. Haven't been there in a while either, but their food is pretty good. That used to be German Bar, but I don't know what it is now, but boats used to pull up there. They used to have really good pizza. This used to be Boat Bar on the right, but it changed into something else. I'm not sure what it is now. And then Millard is on the left. And if you know Millard, that's 24 Hours Place. Good food as well. And then Patsy's is on the right. So they do, I think it's basically the only standalone coffee shop in Negril. And they do good pastries, good lunch. I did a live stream from there and also did a video with them as well for the channel, which was cool. This is Ocean Cliff on the right we just passed. I did the farewell dinner there for Thrivex 2022. Beautiful property, formerly known as the Spa Retreat. But beautiful property, great food that we had there for the farewell dinner retreat. And here on the West End, like, it's a very different experience than the beach. As you can see, like, it's very, it's I wouldn't say secluded, maybe too strong of a word, but definitely when you're on the properties, it's a little bit more secluded and separated as compared to the beach, where there's just more traffic and no real, I guess, super separation between the properties. And really talking in terms of traversing. So to go from property to property here, you actually have to come out the property and walk along the roads here, whereas like the properties on the beach, you can either walk on the beach and go from property to property, or the road, if you will. And if you're across the street from the beach, then we have the shared user path, depending on where the property is. Now we are passing Samsara, which is friends of the family, another good small hotel in Negril. Sorry about that wind sound. I didn't anticipate that, but that just makes sense, just coming from the camera. This is Kaiser's. This was used to be a very famous place for shows back in the day, before my time. Coming up on the left and the right here is Ekstabi, great seafood place. Haven't been there in a while, but do enjoy their food. Great lobster during a lobster season. Three Dives coming up on the right here. Very, very popular restaurant, local restaurant. Great jerk chicken, jerk food in general. They were actually on the Amazing Race, if I'm not mistaken. Almost certain of that. Nice view here of the sea. We're passing Pushcart on the right, which borders its sister property, Rock House, one of my favorite restaurants in Negril. They also have an award-winning spa, one of my favorite spas in Negril, as a matter of fact. And haven't been there in a while. When I say a while, like a few months, but I'm a regular customer there for sure. They do excellent job. Very technical, and I guess you can call me bougie when it comes to massages, but I know what I like and I know what I want, and they do a fantastic job there. That's Corosi's Cliff we just looked at. And as you can see, we're literally just riding the coast here. The only thing separating us from the coast is the property. So this is as close as we can get in a vehicle moving through the West End. All right, that was part one. Hope everybody liked that. Should we just go right into part two so we can just get that out the way? Thank you, everybody, for joining. Let me just go through some comments real quick, and then we'll go right into part two. We got some overcast here I'm seeing. If you just see me just get up without warning, and that means I'm running for the camera because it started raining. I'm the only one here today. All right, let's go through some quick comments, and then we will get into part two. Hey, Sherry, thanks for chiming in. Welcome. Rachel says, I love Negril. I don't blame you for that comment at all. Hey, Donna, afternoon. Happy Sunday to you as well. Yeah, sorry. I'm not sure why you didn't get the notification. That's interesting. Is anybody else in the same boat that you didn't get the notification? Let me know. So want to make sure that you do get it. Hey, Sade, thanks for chiming in. Glad you liked the video. Okay, what's going on? Hi, Courtney. Thanks for chiming in. Chris, what's going on? Hey, Throp and Throp fam, good to have you. Hello, Mark. Yep, we're doing a drive-through, drive-out today. We're going to be doing part 2 in a second. Saquon wants part 2. Yep, you got it. You got it. We're going to keep driving. MDL is saying Jamaica is a country where people can curse the government and have a great freedom of speech. The man can never say a bad word about President Kagame. He has no idea of history of the genocide. It's talking about the video I was talking about earlier that we're going to go through in a second. About a Jamaican gentleman who decided to move for various reasons, decided to retire in Rwanda instead of Jamaica, and he goes through his whole reasons for doing so. So we'll get to that in a second, but we're going to do part 2 for sure. Lorene, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Okay, let's go right into part 2 with no further ado. Hold on, sorry, got to take down this comment, and we'll go into part 2 immediately. And I'd say like this is pretty typical in terms of traffic on the West End. It's not really a crowded place. The roads are narrow, but it's relatively safe as far as traffic goes. I guess because it's like so windy, you're forced to slow down, and also there are just not a lot of cars there. I bike here, I run here as well, and I like it a little bit better than the beach in the sense of there just not being that many cars passing and driving towards you. It's La Mirage Hotel. That's the sister property to Shirella Inn. Both great small properties, locally owned. It seems like I'm driving fast, but I don't think I'm driving fast. These properties are just like whizzing by. There's Ivan's, otherwise known as Catch a Falling Star. Again, one of my favorite restaurants, I would say, too. Highly recommend them. They do really good stuff, great service and great food. Coming up here on the right, this is the world famous Rick's Cafe, where you can do cliff jumping if you are brave enough, but it's definitely, I would say, the most popular place, bar in Negril, place to go in Negril. LTU, that's a popular expat bar. And they do their famous Halloween party every October as well. I've never been, but I hear stories. I hear it's a lot of fun. Little girl saying hello. Right, we are going deeper into the West End. We're almost in deep West End, but not quite there yet. Coming up on the right is the Caves, which is known as a very exclusive property. A lot of celebrities have been there and stayed there before. I actually went there for dinner the other day, which was very nice, good food. We had dinner in the Cave. And this is our famous lighthouse. Unfortunately, it has been privatized, so from what I understand, there's no more tours to the lighthouse, which is unfortunate. I've never been. It's just like one of those things you just take for granted. You're like, oh, you'll get there sometime, and the next thing you know, somebody buys it and you can't go in. But it's still an important part of Negril nonetheless. Then on the right is Whoopi's, which was just a famous chill-out spot back in the day, particularly during the spring break heyday in the late 90s, early 2000s. now you could either go right or go left, and we're gonna go right. Down to the left is the Negril laundromat, and then right here, I guess this officially starts the Deep West End. And I like the Deep West End. It's a very different feel from even the West End, the regular West End, if you will, and a very different feel, more so from the beach road. That's a villa there. I forget the name of it, but we've done a few events there for guests at Travelers. Beautiful, beautiful villa. I want to say, like, some of the most beautiful properties are on the West End, but also the Deep West. Some of the most beautiful properties in Negril. This is the Cliff Hotel on the right side. I think this is the most beautiful property in Negril. Honestly, like, it's just gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. I was there for dinner the other day, a few weeks ago, as a matter of fact. But really, really beautiful property. And for whatever reason, every time I've been there, there's like nobody there. But I think they focus more on groups than anything else. But I really don't know their business model. But great hotel, great for dinner as well. Highly recommend them as well. Service is great as well. On top of their cuisine. So these roads are not the best, and you can imagine biking here. So you've got to take it easy. But as you can see, a little glimpse on the right side of your screen, the views here are just amazing, and I've seen some of the most beautiful sunsets back here. And I've said this on the channel before. I think this is a great place to invest now, especially, like, I know there's a lot of people who want sea view or ocean front, and to get that on the Negril Beach Road is going to be very, very expensive. You know, we're probably talking, at least at this time, what I understand, like, depending on the property, $1 million to $1.5 million US per acre. And that might be on the conservative side, to be honest. And again, depending on where it is and what property. Whereas here, you know, I wish I could speak to what you'd pay per acre here, but it's significantly less. It's a lot less developed. But as you'll see as we drive through here, there is a lot of development happening, at least more activity than I've ever seen in recent times. And the types of development that I'm seeing here is mostly villas. And to me, this is like the perfect location, perfect row, if you will, for villas. Treasure Beach has a very similar setup, and there's a part of Treasure Beach where it's just villa after villa after villa after villa. And you're already having elements of this along this Deep West End road here. And I think it's perfect, right on the water, just amazing views. You know, I wish we could have got out and shown you, but if you can just imagine, just past these gates, these houses, on the other side, you have just endless views of the sea. And depending on how deep you go, you can actually see the coastline, like looking left and right as you go out to the water. So this is an example of a recently built villa. I don't know the name of it, I don't know the owner, but it's very beautiful. I've seen pictures on Facebook as well. I was actually flying my drone for this property here on the left, somewhere west. We're doing a video for them and working with the owner to help her sell that property. But when I was looking at the drone and looking at that property, it's just really, really beautifully built, super modern. And again, to me, this is like the perfect location to do accommodations just like that. Or maybe not accommodations, maybe you want to build your dream home. I think this is the perfect place to do it. You're really by yourself, and we're about a little over 17 minutes in. I would say if there is a negative to being back here, it's that it'll take you about 15 to 20 minutes from downtown to get here. But some people like that. Some people love that, as a matter of fact. And just something to take into consideration. Coming up here on the right, this is actually a hotel that just never got off the ground. Obviously,
they got off the ground, so to speak, but just never opened really, for whatever reason. I think whoever did this had great vision. I think this was an excellent location to put a hotel, and I think it was also in a sense before its time. But that hotel is actually for sale, and it's being sold by actually one of our real estate experts, St. Alban Clark. So if you are interested, let me know if you want to find out a little bit more information on that property. We can St. Alban can give you that information. So let me know. Shoot me a DM on Instagram at Throp, THROP, or you can shoot me an email at Throp, THROP, at thropmedia.com. I always like driving down this road. It's like super smooth, and then as we make a right here, I always imagine like kids in high school doing drag racing down here, but they don't do that here, and don't do that. I'm not recommending that at all. But we are, again, deep West End. Beautiful views on, at least here. You know, I like this. And to the left, you have like the mountains, and then deep into the right, you have this sea. Just to give you a little heads up on orientation.
All right, that was part 2. So, want to do a couple things here. Go through some comments. One, but before we do that, I just want to kind of give everybody an idea on the map of exactly where we are right now. So let's do that. 1 second, just pulling it up. No, any chance I get to pull up a map, I'm gonna do it. All right, let's share my screen. Boom, there we go. All right, let's do some. No. There we go. Okay. All right. So just for orientation purposes, this is Jamaica, and we are on the westernmost part of Jamaica, Negril, and this is the 7 miles of white sand beach. So we got 5 miles here, and Long Bay, and then this is Bloody Bay. So we got about 2 miles right here, which makes up the 7 miles of white sand beach. And we started here at Travelers, and we came out of Travelers. We made a right, and we drove down Norman Manley Boulevard, or otherwise known as the Beach Road, and we went over the bridge. Here's the roundabout, and we made a right at the roundabout. And as you saw, we saw Burger King over here, Scotiabank, Burger King here, Scotiabank here, Corner Bar here, and we are currently on, this is West End Road, and we followed West End Road, the coast all the way in part 1, and I think we picked up part 2 just about here, maybe. So still following the coastline. Went past Rock House, Coral Seas, coastline. And I would say right here, this is where we made the right onto Deep West End. So this is Deep West End. And this is where I was talking about in the video. Pretty much this whole strip here could really turn into the next frontier, the new frontier, I don't know what you want to call it, of Negril, and just being like a perfect location for villas. And as Mark McCarthy said in the comments here, it's tucked away paradise. And I think that's exactly what this is. And you couldn't see it in the video, but to the right, like this is where the coastline is. So this is not beach. I just want to be clear on that. I think the last time some folks thought it was beach. This is actually coral. I wouldn't say a cliff in the sense there's like a drop, but it's like coral, and there's like maybe a 8-foot drop or something like that, and probably far less than most places. But it's mostly coral here, very rocky, but great views, especially, I mean, even the first floor is a nice view, but as you go second and third floor, I mean, it's just, you can imagine. And this is pretty much all sea level here. Not pretty much, it is sea level. And this was somewhere west. This is the video I was alluding to that we're going to be working with the owner to try and help them sell it. I think this is a very, very beautiful property. And we could just look at it. Let me see. I don't know if anything's going to come up, but this is it right here. And like just a really nice place. And when I was talking to the owner about, we were just doing like pre-interviews, and she was just talking about the difference in atmosphere and environment with the West End and Deep West End. And like, I really believe that there is like a huge difference in the feel. Much more of a small niche community, a lot of different people, characters, and I mean like good characters, like she was telling me, and like all these different folks that she wants us to at least consider having on the video that we're putting together. So this is it. It's a beautiful property. I like it a lot. I'm ashamed that Angela's selling it, but she's going into a different phase of her life. But I think it's a great opportunity, great opportunity for anybody that is considering being a small hotel owner or maybe a villa owner, because there's a lot that you can do with that property. This is the hotel that I was saying that didn't get off the ground, but it obviously did. And like I said in the video, I thought that these guys had like great vision to really understand and see the beauty of this part of Negril. And it's just like, it's hard to, I don't know, I don't have a drone video, but the views are just beautiful, like extremely beautiful. You're very secluded. It's very intimate setting back here. Super quiet. Like there's no traffic. I saw somebody ask in the comments, is it always this quiet on the West End? Like pretty much, I would say there's not a lot of traffic on the West End. And I was saying in the video, I prefer riding my bike on the West End and even running because there's so much less traffic. The roads are very narrow, but I think because of how narrow it is, people are forced to slow down. And I would say for pedestrians and people doing exercise in the morning or whatever have you, it's a blessing in that sense. And so yeah, I don't know the name of this property, but it's for sale. I don't know how much it's going for, but St. Alban Clark, if you have seen videos with him, he is the realtor who, at least that I know of, that is in charge of selling this property. And yeah, if you want his contact information or more information, just shoot me a DM on Instagram at Throp, or shoot me an email, throp@thropmedia.com, and I will be more than happy to connect you to. And now we are in this. We stopped just right about here, and we're going to be going further down, and we're going to pass Jackie's on the Reef and West Ender Inn. So we'll do that review, if you will, when we finish this, finish the third part. But let me hop into the comments real quick and bring that up for you all. All right, let's go to the comments here. Hey, what's going on, Kevin? Nice to see you. Shane and Love Koshin, always nice to see you. Thanks for joining, both of you. Let me go up. Where were we? Hello, Tisha. Thanks for hopping on. Video quality is a little grainy, Saquon saying. Yeah, that's because of the upload. So we can only upload 200 megabyte videos. So what I think I'm going to do for next time is actually upload, instead of uploading it to the streaming program that I use, I'm going to upload it to actually a YouTube link, and then we can just kind of watch it straight, and the quality will actually be 1080p. Yeah, so that's why the quality is not so good. Not the GoPro. We have a good GoPro, but we can only upload like so big of files on here, unfortunately. It's perfectly imperfect says this is very helpful, great timing. Be still. Asked, is the road usually is quiet? Yeah, that's pretty. I would say that's pretty normal. Don Morris says that was a great video. I will have to watch the rest. Drop. They also have a new coffee shop that opened while I was there last. Reach Kiki's, located just up from Travelers at Singyu's old spot. Kiki's coffee shop. I don't know. I have to look into that. I'm not aware of that. Thank you, Don. I will see what's going on with that. Jeff says, hi. You should do an interview with Janet Silvera, host of Westside JA in Mobay. She is amazing. That's not Janet Silvera, the journalist, is it? Let me know. I'm just going to screenshot that anyway. Jamaica is such a beautiful place. I agree. Charlene Hayes says, greetings, Drop. I'm Shar from the region, 2022 sub. Awesome. Great to have you still here. Thanks for West End Tour of Negril. You got it. No problem. MDSS, thanks up. This is awesome to drive through. No problem. Rachel says, my mom made me put the live on the TV. Awesome. Mark says, this is awesome. I'm glad everybody's enjoying it. That makes me feel good. Karen says, hi, everyone watching from Boy, Maryland. Throp, thanks for this. Love it. Awesome. You're welcome. Mark says, this is what we need just before the rush. We need to be in these areas. I agree. Rachel says, this is a perfect spot. I think so, too. I really do. Crypto King says, it's a nice stretch to drag race on. Yes. Yeah. Don't do that. Yeah. I just kind of, I don't know why that popped in my head, but that always pops in my head when I drive over there. Used to do a little bit of that in high school, but it was a long time ago. Donna says, Throp and the map, just teasing, it's helpful. Good kid. I'm glad you like the map because I like the map as well. And Donna just reminding everybody to please hit the like button. Would definitely appreciate that for sure. Miss Perfectly Imperfect says, I'd love to stay in Negril, but it doesn't seem to be much to do in terms of excursions, dining or activities off-site from a villa or hotel. Well, allow me to interject. So, I mean, I will agree with you, Miss Perfectly Imperfect, to a certain extent that the grill could do with a lot of activities, but I always say Negril is like the perfect place to do excursions. It's like the perfect base. So we'll just start inside the circle and kind of work our way out. And I will bring up the map. Oh man, I hope I don't mess this up. I feel like I am. In terms of my geography skills is what I'm really worried about. Anyway, let's see if we could do our best. All right, so here's Negril. And so Rick's Cafe is one of the biggest tourist attractions in Jamaica. Not really my favorite. It's just too many people for me. But I always tell people, if you've never been in Negril, I've never been to Rick's Cafe, you gotta go check it out. So that's right here on the West End, and people from all over Jamaica, from Ocho Rios, like they'll come to Negril for a day trip just to experience Rick's Cafe and really just to experience the 7 Mile Beach, and then go to Rick's Cafe for the sunset, and then go back to wherever they're staying, Montego Bay, Ocho Rios, wherever have you. And so that's that. Next, I would say you have Blue Hole. Let me see if I can get this right. Okay, yeah, Blue Hole right here. This is about, I would say, half hour, 45 minutes away. I think this is my first vlog that I did, first or second vlog. And this is a great, let's see what we can bring up here. This is a great, I would say, local excursion, very easy to do. And it's like maybe like a 25-foot cliff jump here, like seeing here on the left. You can jump in the cave. I don't know what you call it. And then they also have like a pool. That is not Blue Hole. That that river. I think that's another one. So this is their pool, and I believe they also have accommodations there as well. But beautiful little spot and very close. I don't want to play that video because it might have music that's not regulated, and then we get demonetized. And that's the view. And they also have I haven't been, but as you can see, a cannabis farm there as well. And when they had the man, they had this. I can't believe I'm blanking on this, but High Times magazine did a collaboration with a. It's called a Cannabis Cup. That's not the name of the event, but they had the Cannabis Cup, and this property, Blue Hole, won like best weed or something like that. I don't know. They won an award for it, but it's a cool little local spot that I would say that is pretty close. And I'll also mention, how could I forget? Like there's so many things to do on the beach, right? So you have glass bottom boat rides, catamaran rides, parasailing. You can go on fishing tours, scuba diving, snorkeling. We have lots of beautiful reefs. So there's so much to do in that respect. All right, then let's move a little bit north here. Let's move a little bit north here. You know what? No, let's stick in the grill. Sorry. And then as far as like restaurants go, I feel like so the Observer does like this restaurant week every year, and a lot of the focus is on Kingston restaurants. And I will say, like, man, why don't they do something with Negril? Because Negril has like so many great restaurants. And a matter of fact, let's highlight some of them. So we got Burger King. Just kidding. But we had Travelers, of course. I think we do great food. We have a lot of, I would say, consistently strong reviews on our food. I think that's definitely one of our strengths. Obviously, I'm a little biased here, but we've come a long way as far as our product goes. Going up to, we got Kenny's Italian Cafe. That's also a good spot. They do, trying to see if we can bring some pictures here. And these are, okay, this is probably a better picture. This is a newer picture. Beautiful little spot. I would say kind of Euro modern, if you will. They have pretty good food, good pizza as well. That's what I go there for. Shrimp and pineapple. I know that's a lot of controversy putting pineapple on pizza, but that's kind of like me and my brother's thing. And beautiful little spot. And it's like one of those places. I'm trying to see if they have some more of the recent pictures. I guess this is one of the. No, this is even an old picture. Like, but if you can imagine, like he's Kenny, the owner, the proprietor, has upgraded even since this. And so this is a great restaurant, great hangout spot as well. Let's keep going up the road here. I know I'm going to start forgetting some. Oh, I think I mentioned this before. Let me see if I could find it. Coletta's. And we got the Jungle. That's a nightclub. I know it's not an excursion, but it's the only nightclub that we have here in Negril. So that in that sense, I would agree with you that we don't have like a lot to do as far as that. As far as like nightlife activity compared to like say Montego Bay or Kingston, I'll definitely give that to them. I'm trying to look for Coletta's. Can't, and it's just a great breakfast spot that I like to go to. Another spot I would say that I really like their food is Shirella Inn. Where is Shirella? My dad and my brothers went there for breakfast this morning, but I couldn't join them. Oh, here's Shirella. And like to me, like Shirella is like one of those like, I mean, everybody knows Shirella, but it's just so like underline, like really good, and I feel like more people should know about them. Like really great French cuisine. They do good croissants and great breakfast, great cappuccinos. Really good lamb. That's one of my favorite dishes that they have there. Locally owned and operated, beautiful place as well. This is their outside dining. A lot of people go here um, for lunch on a Sunday. I would be there, but I had to do this, which I everybody understood, my family understood, and we'll get there. There will always be a next time, right? So that's Shirella. We'll do a couple more, and then we'll move outside in a grill. And then Skylark. This is probably definitely one of my most, I would say, frequented restaurants that I go to. Miss Lily's. They have a couple locations in New York as well, and one in Dubai. And again, great food, great service, great location, right on the beach, beautiful property, good food, both international and local cuisine. I was there last night, as a matter of fact, meeting up with some friends. All right, and so this is the beach. Let's move over to the West End real quick. Don't want to forget about them. Rock House, which is I almost said Sam Sarah, which is Rock House, which is Miss Lily's sister property, or Skylark's sister property, I should say. So this is also one of my favorite spas. That's another thing I would say. Like, Negril has like some of the best spas in the world, best spas in the Caribbean. Like no joke. It's I'm gonna actually do a video on the best spas in Negril because they are just so amazingly good, and that's really being objective. And as you said, I saw in the video, like, I'm very particular about massages and that sort of thing. And there are so many great ones. We talked about Jackie's on the Reef. You've seen a video that we did on that as well. And then you have like all these all-inclusives that you are allowed to go to, make your appointment, and you're allowed to enjoy the amenities there, and set up your spa appointment with you want your nails done, hair done, massages, etc. Couple Swept Away is another great one as well, that I've been to quite a few times. So this is Rock House, beautiful property. Trying to get to there. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is their restaurant. Again, great food, great restaurant, great service, great ambiance. All right, and we'll do one more West End property as I think of it. Where are we? And then we'll go to Ivan's. So this is another one of my favorites. So this is Catch a Falling Star, otherwise known as Ivan's. That's the name of the restaurant. And it was named Ivan after Hurricane Ivan completely destroyed the restaurant, and then they built up. So beautiful location, beautiful spot. We drove past it on the video. Really, really amazing stuff. It's great food. Again, amazing service, amazing food, very fast, very attentive, beautiful ambiance. I usually go here for dinner, great dinner spot. I did my birthday sorry, was it this year? Where was I for my birthday? I can't even remember. This year or last year, I did my birthday at Ivan's. I can't remember. But great spot, beautiful place. So anyway, we have great food in Negril, is what I want to say. Great restaurants, and there are many more. There are many more that I didn't mention. So anyway, as far as like now back to excursions, if you will. So that's my restaurant argument. And then as we leave Negril, going on North Coast, and this is where I was afraid of messing up my geography here. So somewhere along here, which I can't really remember, there's Dolphin Cove. I'm gonna get killed for this. Oh, here we go. Thank God. There's a sign. Okay, there's Dolphin Cove. So this is about, I would say, I've never done this, but this is about 45 minutes. And I know this can be a little controversial, animals in captivity, zoos and all that. I know some people don't like that. But nonetheless, this is available as an excursion in Jamaica. And not too far from that, then you have Chukka. Hold on, is this? I don't even know it looked like this. So I've never been here before, but This is before you get to Montego Bay, so you can do legal horseback riding, and you can do ATVing through the mountains, I believe, or through some bush. I just always see them driving around when I'm on the road. Oh, this place looks beautiful. I've never been here before. I just only see the ATVs and the horseback riding when I'm driving to and from Montego Bay. But we got to reach out to them and kind of do this excursion. This looks awesome. This looks really, really nice. I had no idea. And we like here at Travelers, we have a we have a tour operating agreement with this place. So this is probably 45 50 minutes from Negril. All right, so keep going north, east on the north coast. Where am I getting lost here? And I think I might have went too far. Yeah, we went too far. So somewhere around here. All right. Okay. Then right after that, we have Trial Golf Club, which is, man, I think maybe the most beautiful golf club in Jamaica, at least that I played on. Absolutely gorgeous. Even here, I forget which hole this is. Where are we? I think, yeah, this hole right here. It's you're like right on the water, man. It's just gorgeous, just absolutely gorgeous. Really, really beautiful. Golf club and golf course. And I also forgot to mention Negril has a golf course as well, Negril Hills, which is, we're popping back to Negril here, which is right here. So this is Negril Hills golf club. Very challenging, I would say, because it's so hilly. This is where I hone my golf skills, and I'm still not that good, but it's a great place to golf, and this is our local golf course here in Negril. And so Trial is actually like a PGA rated golf course. I believe the only PGA rated golf course in Jamaica. I could be wrong on that. I open to being corrected there. And then you're in Montego Bay, right? So Montego Bay is like an hour and a half, and then you have, Rolls Hall Great House. And I won't go any further than that. But that, hour and a half there, and there's like all the things to do in Montego Bay. And then when you go, like, even the opposite side, when you go to the south coast, you're not too far from Treasure Beach. You're an hour and a half from Treasure Beach. So I always like to go there to kind of chill out. I was there last week, as a matter of fact, for a couple of days. And on the south coast, you have YS Falls. You have the I forget what it's called, but it's a safari tour in Black River. And that's about an hour, I would say, maybe slightly over an hour away from Negril. And yeah, lots to do there on the south coast. And also Mayfield Falls. I'm definitely not going to find that on the map. So that's in Westmoreland. That's about an hour and a half from Negril. And that is my favorite excursion, I would say. Let me see if we can type it in and find it. Oh, there we go. Man, that's where it is? Okay. Yeah, I would not have found it. I did a video on this as well. Beautiful, beautiful excursion. Like super, super intimate. You're kind of just a slow meander up a river / waterfall. And you really feel like you're going through, like you're in the middle of the Amazon. So, so beautiful. And you just go with like whoever you're with, and you take your time, and there's just like so many different elements and characteristics of this waterfall that you can enjoy. And yeah, you don't have to be like athletically inclined or anything like that. And the guides are like super, super professional, and they've done this a million times, so they can really help you through it. Highly recommend water shoes. I've done it quite a few times without shoes, and can be a little painful. Anyway, let's get to the talked a long time there, but that's my argument for having a for Negril. That's my argument for Negril, and there being so many things to do. A lot of comments here. So let me get up to the comments, and then we'll get into part 3, I believe we're on at this point. Rachel says, there's a lot to do in Negril. Hey, Claudette, thanks for chiming in. Yeah, and I hope I kind of made that point, and maybe Miss Perfectly Imperfect, maybe I opened your eyes a little bit to some of the things that there are to do in Negril. The Creative Den, nice to see you. Tisha Amoy says, born in Westmoreland, never been to Deep West End, didn't know so much was back there, but then again, it's so much to explore in Jamaica that I haven't seen. Love the video, thank you. Donna Bryce says, some excursions are Barney's Hummingbird Garden. Oh, I forgot about that. I've never done that, but like people rave about it. It's on the West End. YS Falls dining around is so easy and fun. Agreed. Great point, Donna. Jeff Coleman says, I believe Janet is a journalist. She has been promoting Western Jamaica for years. Okay, I know Janet so very well. And I didn't know she was in charge of a property. So I will reach out to her. Thank you, Jeff. Hashtag nap time with Thrapi. You know it. Saquon says, along the Deep West End stretch, it would be government land that's available. Nope. That is actually, I believe I mentioned it in this next part. So where we're driving through is owned by the Hoggs, which are a pretty prominent family here in Negril, and literally hundreds of acres. My dad bought some land back there when, man, I might have been 10 or I was very young, put it that way. And so we bought it from that family over 20 years ago, maybe close to 30, maybe not close to, close to 30 years ago, probably we bought that land. Natasha tuning in from Atlanta. Nice to see you. Donna Bryce says the food at Travelers is excellent. People came there from outside as well. Thank you for that. Yep. Yeah, we have been having some pretty good reviews, thankfully. Avon, thanks for joining. Peter V says self-recommendations is no praise. They say, but I can attest to the food and music vibes at Travelers. I ate at Travelers and listened to the live music. Great food. Thank you. Yeah, we do have live entertainment every day here at Travelers, as a matter of fact. My favorite night for sure, and I know nothing against the other nights, but it's Thursday nights. We have Marsha. She has like a very Marsha. I forget what they call. Sorry, the Silhouettes. I shouldn't be calling anybody out specifically, and they just have these like angelic voices with this amazing harmony, and that for sure is probably my favorite entertainment night of the week. But we have karaoke on Sundays, which is also very popular, and you all get to participate and join in on the entertainment. Donna's naming some other places. Vinny's, haven't ate at Vinny's, ran by there almost every day, as a matter of fact. Coletta's, yes, I mentioned that. That's one of my favorite breakfast spots. I will also mention Sips and Bites on the West End. Great breakfast spot and lunch spot, as a matter of fact. Great food. That's right next to Rock House. Chicken Lavish. That's on the West End. Haven't eaten there. Patsy's Coffee Shop, very good as well. Good lunch spot, good coffee spot. Best in the West. Haven't ate there in years. That's across the street from Shirella Inn, basically, in that area. Shirella, just a few great places to dine. Thank you for that, Donna. Donna's naming some more. Matthews and Chill Pops at Boardwalk Village. Yeah, you know it. You know all these great places. Christmas says, yes, great food. I'm looking a hotel for August. Oh, let me know. I'm not sure what your dates are, but please let me know. And if you can email me, throp@thropmedia.com, or shoot me a DM on Instagram at Throp, I can see what we got for you here at Travelers. Hey, Nicole. Ficus is asking, I'm assuming the asking price for the hotel. I have no idea, to be honest. I can tell you somewhere west is asking for 1.8 million. I don't know about that hotel that we drove past, but if you email me, I will connect you with St. Alban Clark, and yeah, just email me and I connect you with St. Alban Clark, and we can take it. You guys can take it. Nala, what's going on? Hi, Throp and Throppers. I would love to see an interview with the owner of Somewhere West. I'm sure she has a ton of insight and info for those of us interested in building / starting a business. Great idea. She actually, so we're actually trying to do exactly that, and we're trying to do it live, but she's very busy and extremely, if you know Angela, she's very, very straightforward, and she keeps it real. Even when we were doing like the pre-interview, it's like she just got into all these amazing stories and these challenges and overcoming them. Very super hands-on owner manager that did a phenomenal job when she was running the place. And yes, she's a huge resource. And I look at it, her selling property, it really is a loss for Negril in that sense, because she was a big part of the community. But hopefully, again, we can. This is kind of like even one of the main reasons why I am even on taking on the responsibility in a sense of kind of putting it on a channel and maybe help selling the property, is like I want to get like a really good owner for that property because of the community. And I think it's just so important that we, just Negril being the small community that it is, that we have like-minded, progressive thinking business owners who are committed to making Jamaica better and committed to making Negril better. And obviously, that's a dream. And who knows? You buy it, you can do whatever you want with the property, and you can be a part of the community. You cannot. But if we can say put this property in touch with like our community that we're building here, I mean, I already know it's going to be like somebody who's for Negril and for Jamaica in many ways. But great idea, Nala. We will still try to make that happen nonetheless. Nicole says, not interested in Negril anymore. I was hoping to migrate elsewhere for a while. Maybe I'll rethink in the future, but right now I have to get over my hurdles. Oh, so where are you interested in, Nicole? Would be interested here. To hear. It's perfectly perfect. They are expensive. Donna was talking Mayfield Falls. Dosey Dose, good to see you. Saquon says, any idea how much the Hogg family would let a parcel of land go for? No, I am sorry. I do not know that. Maybe we can do, I can try and find out some information on that, but I'm unsure. But as you can see from the map, if we bring it up, it's a lot of land. It's a, they call it hog heaven. That's what, like, that's how much land that is. Like, pretty much. Hold on, sorry. Da-da-da-da. I would say like this right here, taking up your screen, is like they own it, not the school over here, but kind of like, let me bring it in a little bit. You know, this is their land. This is like all their land, and most of this they sold to like the people who own it. Definitely like here, back here. So it's a good amount of land. Yoshido says for Shirella French. Yep. They have a good French cuisine. DP Carib says stop by Can Jam Retreat. We are also building a conference center on the land next door, 1.6 acres from Citronella. Oh, awesome. I didn't know that. All right, we got to take a trip over there. Angela's open again. No, she is not. She's not. Somewhere west. No, she's not open. She's actually selling. Elvis White says, hi, have been working every Sunday. Nice to be back. It's been a while. Yeah, good to see you, Elvis. Nice to have you back for sure. BP Lomo Services says, I love Negril, Woodstock, Sweet Spot, Sweet Spice, Scrub-a-Dub. Okay, I heard some guests talking about that earlier. Three Dive, Smart Choice, Jerk Center, Best in the West, Long Bay, Patties. That's right, a lot to do here for sure. The Aqueducts is amazing. Sunday say stayed at Travelers and loved the food and entertainment vibes. I saw you thrive, but didn't want to disturb you. Disturb me. I will always say, anybody, if you stay here or come here and stop by and you see me, please say hello. I love meeting you all. I'm never too busy to say hi. And even if it's just for a second and we circle back and we sit and chit chat, would love to say hello. Would love to meet any and all of you. So please don't think I'm too busy or maybe not in the mood to say hello. If I'm out here or if I'm on property, I'm here for it. So please feel free to engage. Would love to meet any and all of you. The Ellis family coming to visit next month from California. Awesome. Looking forward to meeting you all. And all right, let's get into the next part. We are moving into part 3, and we'll take it from there. Hope you guys are enjoying the tour so far. If you are, let me know. Put it in the comment section. If you have a favorite part, let me know. You can also put that in the comment section. And if you're interested in any of the properties that I've mentioned and want more information, of course, no commitments by any means, but it's always good to gather information as it relates to investing or understanding the dynamics of a community or an area as it relates to real estate. So coming up here on your right is Jackie's on the Reef, which is another one of my absolute favorite spa massage places to go to. This is a super zen place. If this, you want to find a place that you need to recalibrate, adjust your mind, like that is the place. And Jackie is just an amazing person, and if you know her, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And here on both sides of the road, this is West Ender Inn, another great property on the West End. They have both sides of the road, so you have sea access on the right here as the camera pans over there. Beautiful views on those buildings there, looking out to the sea. And this is west, right? So this is deep west. So you can imagine what the sunsets look like from these properties. They are absolutely gorgeous. I think the best in the world. And I do not apologize for that at all. I've seen sunsets from all over the world, and I have yet to see one that really beats Negril, especially deep west. And so you can go that road, and you're basically heading south at that point. I think we're actually heading south now. Yeah, we are heading south at this point. Southeast, I should say. And that'll take you to like Little London. And then if you've been paying attention on the channel, when we talk about the Little Bay development, that's also in that direction, like Jam West Little Bay. But that's literally you're on the coast going down there. But it's not a road. You'd have to, I don't know how you do it, but from what I heard that apparently they're building a road right there to connect Deep West End and that. So who knows? This is Honeycomb Ave. Here on the right, there are houses that people have bought the land and built there. Close family friend used to live there, couple, but they unfortunately they passed away. But my dad and his friends, they used to go there all the time to play dominoes, and great place to watch the sunset. And those were just some really, really good times back in the day. So now I would say we're kind of heading back to civilization, if you will. Again, not the greatest of roads here, so we're just taking our time. I don't have a truck, I have a car that's not the best for traversing these potholes, but it works. But yeah, so we're gonna be basically heading back to downtown Negril at this point, as soon as we get up this hill and around the bend. And this is the first, I would say, driving tour that we will be doing, but we'll do this again. We'll do another one for Negril because we only covered the West End, and then we have like the whole beach road. And I would even say Nampro Road would be, it's not that long, but there's a lot to talk about with Nampro Road, especially when it comes to development and when it comes to understanding the future of Negril. That is Mr. Hogg's house. This is what is known as Hog Heaven, and this is owned by a very prominent Negril family, the Hoggs. And if
if you want a piece of property back here, if you're interested in, you'll have to go through the hogs, and that's I believe that's my dad's friend that I was mentioning before. That's who he bought his property from. As we're driving, just trying to remind you guys about Thrivex, and it's coming up in November. And if you want to learn more about investing in Jamaica in general and real estate, like this is definitely the conference for you. And it continues to be just a high level of interest in investing in Jamaica, and particularly buying land and building homes in Jamaica. And of course, I'm super, super biased, so I will always, not always, but I will always put Negril first and show you and just because I know the most about this area, and I will show you what there is to offer. And if I don't know, I will put you in touch with people and experts who know more about this. But tickets are for sale on Thrivex.com, www.thrivex.com, and it's going to be an awesome event. If you know Amashika Lauren, who is the host last year, she is confirmed for being the host this year. She's absolutely amazing, super, super talented. She's doing some really awesome stuff in her own career, and she's just one of those people that, in my opinion, that are just going to just blow up at some point in time. And I feel very fortunate and special to have her as part of the Thrivex team, and in a real sense being the face of it. And I know she's gonna kill it. She killed it last year. She's excited, and so am I. Extremely, extremely excited. We are moving towards downtown Negril. I don't know the names of these little communities. I believe we're moving into Good Hope, and I know somebody's gonna kill me in the comments and say, no, it's such and such. But yeah, let me know. Like I said, I like riding my bike through here in the morning. As you can see, there's almost no traffic at all. Only thing you gotta worry about is these dogs. I don't know why. There's always this group of dogs right here at this hill. They just come after me. The same hill that we're going up. I don't know where that road leads, but I've never been up there. But they always come at you on an uphill where you can't ride away from them. But always get away. Never had any issues. Just a little quick few second chase, and then they run out of breath, and I usually outride them. At least I have outridden them 100% of the time so far. Hopefully I can continue my streak. Hope you guys are enjoying the tour so far. And if there is an area that you want to see me tour or do something similar to this, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to. Perhaps we can do one to Sav and maybe to Montego Bay. I don't know if you like these kind of things. If there's maybe a topic that we want to cover, I can kind of do it while we take a little drive together. But yeah, let me know what you all think about this. But I think this is a good break for the live stream as well. So at least you're getting a bit of an education at the same time while I'm able to take a break. I'm sure I'm probably eating something right now while you all are watching this. I don't know what I'm talking about here in the car, but I hope it's something interesting. I can't really hear.
All right, that was part three. So we got one more part left. And I just want to give you, let me bring up the map real quick. Just give you an idea of where we are. So Part 2, we drove past Jackie's, West Ender Inn. Man, I'm confusing myself here. Okay, and then we drove up here. Really confusing myself. Oh yeah, here. Oh man, this is where we drove up the hill. Saw Mr. Hogg's house here. Excuse me. And drove through this road, and then I think it was, who was it? Jimmy Negril 55 was saying that if you made a right here, you would go to Orange Hill. And so this can basically take you, get you to on your way to Sav, as a matter of fact. But we didn't make that right. We went up this road here, and I don't know the name of the road. But we're basically heading back to I feel like I'm confusing the heck out of myself. Yeah, we're heading back to Negril, basically. So yeah, that's what we're doing. So this is the main road that we're going down. This is Nampro Road. You'll see in a second in part 4. So we're driving through Orange Hill, and no, we didn't go to Orange Hill. We are driving through Good Hope, I should say, and we're somewhere around here. Let's give you an idea. Hope that helps somewhat. Let's get to the comments real quick. Let's go up. Let's go up. Hey Joe, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Yep, Mark and Shanna already helped you out. We are live, but the drive-through is not live. We did a pre-recording. Thanks for asking. Your Girl 55 says, I will be there next week. Hope I will see you and Wingate. It's been a while since pre-pandemic. Doing a great job. Thank you, Jimmy. Looking forward to seeing you as well. And he says here, Jimmy confirmed that I was correct in that it was Good Hope that we drove through and Mount Airy. Yeah, we've done some work through my family's nonprofit through NEAT with Mount Airy quite a few times, as a matter of fact. I know that school quite well. Yep, and that right, yeah, you're right, DP. Like making that right to Orange Hill, that is Negril's spot, and that is where Revival All Age is, and then you can get the Blue Hole there as well. So I did a shoot with Revival last week, as a matter of fact. Chad, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Thanks for joining up. Speak Steph says, good morning. I'm loving the tour videos. I'd love to see more of areas where locals live and shop. You've mentioned a park or area where there is a paved jogging walking path. I'd love to see that area. As a matter of fact, like I was actually thinking, I think I still will do it. Maybe I'd do like a running tour of that, like the same thing that we did here, but I would run instead of like drive. And it would be a GoPro, so it would be stabilized. I think that would be a good idea. That would be a good shoot. But since you asked, Steph, I'm going to show you on the map exactly where that is. So that is on Norman Manley Boulevard. And so I've been told by fellow Jamaican runners that like Negril is the best spot for runners to train because we have this shared user path. So this is it right. Let's see if it clears up a little bit. No, it's not going to. But this is the path right here. And it's just off of Norman Manley Boulevard. And it's across the street from the beach and the hotels, like many hotels, I should say. And it's basically from right here downtown. Let me put that in the center of your screen, kind of. So right here downtown, it starts and then it goes basically just about, I would say just about 2 miles. So it ends at Couple Swept Away. So it ends, where are we? It ends like right here, somewhere right here. It ends. and it's actually earmarked. This was many years ago. It's earmarked to go all the way to the second Ryu. So imagine it stops here. So we're at about 2 miles, let's call it, of just uninterrupted road for you to run, walk, bike, roller skate if you want. And it's great. It's huge. I think it's one of the greatest assets that Negril has that is not spoken about a lot. It's just phenomenal that we have this other roadway, if you will, of that we can transport ourselves by walking and being safe about it, like walking and traversing, going to different properties, different restaurants, and then also for exercising. A lot of people use it in the morning, tons and tons of people. Anyway, a couple spots away, it's supposed to go up to, again, the second Ryu, which is all the way up here. So for me as a distance runner, that would basically be over 6 miles of just uninterrupted running the route. Like, that is crazy, because like sometimes I do 18-20 mile runs and I will have to just loop my property like for 10 miles, and that's very annoying, but I'll take it. I always say it's better than running on a treadmill. But if I had that much running space, oh my gosh, 6 miles I could do, back and forth, and that's 12 miles. That would be amazing. That's like a dream come true. But that's a very selfish reason to do it. But I also think for people who want to walk and traverse like the entire boulevard, if you're like a real walker or you wanted to ride your bike, you can do that as well. I don't know why that we are not making a push for that as a community, but I think that we should. But that is the shared user path that I was alluding to. Right now it's just about 2 miles, but hopefully sometime in the future we'll get up to that full 6 miles or so. All right. Okay, let's get into the last segment. So this is part 4. This has been pretty cool so far. And let's do it. Last part.
Don't want to hit these cows. Yeah, there's also a lot of cows here and goats usually when I ride in the morning. Not a lot, but they're around. But somebody was asking me, like, I went on a ride recently. They were like, "Man, you went on a ride by yourself?" I was like, "Yeah." And they were like more so saying it in terms of concerns for safety. And I don't know. I don't feel. I don't ride in fear, like when I'm on my bike. And so definitely not in my own town at all. And I never even thought of like safety concerns. The only safety concerns is just like being on a bike, I would say, and not getting hit by a car or bus or a truck. And so just being aware of my surroundings and not taking any crazy risks. So yeah, never feared, ride in fear. And then same thing when I run. I've gotten that before. It's like, why are you running this neighborhood or that neighborhood? I was like, I don't run in fear either, and not just in Jamaica, just kind of anywhere. Even in New York, my mom is like, oh, you need to take your ID and your phone when you're running in New York or in Brooklyn. Anything can happen, kind of thing, which is true, and I understand people's concerns. But in particular, like, I'm not. If somebody's gonna like rob me, if that's the fear, like, I don't have anything on me. Like, I don't have my phone, I don't have my wallet, I don't have any money, so I don't really have anything to offer of value. And I don't know. At least that's my thinking. And I hate running with stuff. I hate running with. I just want to be as light as humanly possible. And so if I can leave my phone at home and be able to run freely, then I'm all for it. Although that I have gone to new places, new cities, and gotten lost without my phone, which can be a little scary. That happened to me in South Africa when I had to ask somebody. I was in Johannesburg and like just got lost in the city blocks and had to ask somebody how to get back to the hotel I was staying at. And yeah, nice person, nice lady. She was out for her run. And she just told me how to get back to the hotel, and I was fine. So yeah, no problem so far in terms of running Okay, so this is Good Hope. I know that for sure. This is a community in Negril. A lot of our team members and travelers live in the Good Hope area. And this is their football field on the right. I remember like I was driving through here one time, and like there was a big match here. I think it was two high school teams, and it was at night. They had lights and everything, which was pretty cool. And I rode by there recently, and the field is kept immaculately well, like very nice, like nice and cut, and I'm sure they have to water it because it's super green and lush. And as you'll see soon, this is going to take this road that we're on right now, this is going to take us all the way to Negril Road, which is the adjoining road to Sheffield, which is heading southeast, but we're gonna head back to the town center, as you'll see shortly. Riding down this hill on a bike can be a little scary because they got all the potholes, and then it's I don't know if you can tell the gradient, but it's pretty steep and it'll get you moving pretty quickly. Again, I don't think I'm driving fast here, but it seems like I am. I'm a little bit, I can be a fast driver, but I consider myself to be a very safe and defensive driver. For those who may or may not have been wondering. That's a church, I don't know the name of it. To the left, this is pretty much the Whitehall community, and on the right is Negril's, I guess, newest hardware store. They've kind of built it up. This is the first time I drove by here in a while, and I was surprised at the development. And then coming up on the right, that red and gray building, that's Texaco gas station. So for those of you that know Negril, you know where we are at this point. And heading that way, that is going towards Sav-Lamar. And yep, we are back to civilization, and we are on Negril Road now. It's actually spelled Nompriel, Negril, but I guess I say Negril. I don't know the right way, but people know what I'm talking about. And the left here is the transportation hub, so the taxis and buses, that's where most people go to when they're coming from Sav or going there, coming from the beach road. And this is the Negril police station. And then on the left is the health center. So these are all public facilities, government facilities, Negril Health Center. And then Rubis gas station. So there's 3 gas stations in Negril. So 2 of them here are downtown. And then the one is up by near the Negril Aerodome, Hedonism, Royalton area. If you want patties, excuse me, you can go here. This is Hammond's, the Hammond's Bakery. Great baked goods there, and also lunch items. And we're back at the Grill Roundabout. Yeah, Hammond's does good cakes. We've done a lot of wedding cakes with them. Highly recommend them. Kind of the best in the business. And then now we're going back to the beach road, and the guy tried to cut me off there. What was he thinking? And this is the South Negril River and bridge. Got a little glimpse of it. And on the left, again, this is the craft market, the Negril Community Center. And then coming up is the Negril Beach Park, which I mentioned is closed, unfortunately, but they have plans. They're going to be doing something with it, hopefully sometime soon. And then on the right side, you've got that shared user path again for cycling, running, walking. Great asset to Negril. Pretty much from what I understand, the only place in Jamaica that has this much of a standalone walking path. At least that's what I've been told. I love it for my running. I think having a solid 2 miles to run on uninterrupted, what a blessing. And so that's Coral Seas we just passed on the left, Ansels that we passed on the left, and then Shields Negril we passed on the left. And then we are back home here at Travelers Beach Resort. We'll have to make this left. Maybe next time we'll keep going straight. But that was the first driving tour on the channel. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed this little break that we took, and just something a little different, a little away from our norm. And any feedback that you have on it would be much appreciated. This was a lot of fun shooting it, and also a lot of fun doing this little voiceover. I will see you all in the next one. Bye, everybody.
All right, and that was the last part of the Negril tour. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I see we got a few comments here, which I'll go back and I will address, and we'll talk about it, especially about the bike ride and safety and everything like that. I think that's important. But as I mentioned earlier, that we were going to be having a guest come on, and he is here now. So I am going to switch cameras here, and thank you everybody for watching. But we'll come back and we'll talk about it in a second here. Okay, great. All right, so just cameras work. We're good to go. Can you just test your mic?
Yo, testing. What's up?
Perfect. Okay, awesome. So this was very impromptu.
Yep.
And sometimes that's the way it goes. But I think what you're doing is amazing. So Israel, right?
Yep.
So this is Israel. We literally just met this morning. He has a group called the Black Exodus Group.
Yeah, Black Exodus Living Local in Jamaica.
Black Exodus Living Local in Jamaica. And you basically had a retreat that you did over this weekend with your members, and you came to Negril and you did a bunch of different things. And so if you would, please introduce the audience to your group. Tell us a little about yourself and what your group does.
Well, my name's Israel. Obviously, I'm an activist and poet from Canada. I live in Nova Scotia and do a little bit of anti-policing work. I do a lot of prison activism and trying to help out our brothers on the inside. And then I also just have this deep love for Jamaica. Just grew up with it and roots. Like my mom's side of the family is from here, but growing up, I didn't have any connection to it. So I was just always obsessed with Jamaica through music, the colors, the food, and all that sort of thing. And then, finally, I got a chance to start coming here in my adult life and acquire property and all that. And through that, just, looking for community and trying to figure out how to navigate life here, I ended up creating Black Exodus. And it was somewhat in response to another group that was, shifting their focus. So we tried to keep everybody together as best we could and created this new group. And it's been pretty good. The focus of the group is just to have everyone share their stories of living locally in Jamaica and, their reintegration stories of, moving here. And then the other part of it is to do some sort of charity work, some community work, and make sure that we're giving back and not taking from Jamaica. So that's the group's focus. And so this weekend we had our first link up, brought everybody together, just so we could see everybody's faces in the room, start to mingle and get those community conversations going so we could figure out what type of community work we can do and how we can help what's already happening here.
Awesome. And how long has your group been around for?
I think I started it in February when I got back from my last trip.
Hmm.
So yeah, we're very young.
Like February this year?
Yeah, this
Oh
year.
wow, you
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
don't mess around.
Yeah, we got like 400 members, just under 400 members, and we had a pretty good turnout. We had like 40 people show up this weekend.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I don't know. I think people like the energy of the group. I don't know. People are saying they like what I'm doing and how I'm organizing it, and just the sort of perspective that I'm bringing, the community-based perspective. So there's a lot of people that want to do community work, and so they're gravitating to that energy. So yeah.
And your members that you have here, are they already living in Jamaica?
We have a lot of members who already live here, a lot that are going back and forth, or people that are still thinking about it and trying to figure it out.
Okay.
So me myself, I only get to come probably about 3 months out of the year. So I'm trying, every year I get to come a little bit longer. So yeah, we're all trying to figure that out and get here. So it's a
Okay.
mix.
Awesome. Awesome. And then can you give us like a little bit of a breakdown of the people who are here this weekend in terms of like where they are from originally?
I would say the majority of our group is UK, US. We got a lot of Canadians in there, Toronto people for sure. So that's sort of the mix. I've seen some people from Panama. It's a lot of different people. But this weekend, those were the three countries that were really represented, and then of course a lot of Jamaican-born people who have returned and are living here full time.
And the members who do live here or spend a lot of the time during the year here, do they know each other? Do they do not work with each other, but like do they hang out outside of the group?
No, I feel like that's one of the things I've sort of learned this weekend is like we all chat on Facebook, but
Mhm.
in terms of actually being here, we all are like very isolated and not they're like people don't know that there's other people that they could mingle with or they're not taking that step. I don't know, but yeah, there's like a sister this weekend who has said she's been here, but she doesn't like have a community yet. So it was really
Mhm.
nice to come meet other people on the island that you could start hanging out with. And that's one of the things I want to encourage is yeah, people just once a week, once a month, get together, even if it's like two or three of you, and just, have your social time and start figuring out stuff. So you have like build that community, right?
Right. So you obviously may not know this, but like, so that is what I would say is my community, my YouTube community is that we're building, and it's I would say the majority of the people on this channel on this live stream that they have a goal of moving to Jamaica and living here, and also investing here as well. And everybody is on a different part of that journey of that spectrum. Some people like are just kind of maybe they're in like their early 20s and they're like, I think I want to do Jamaica and this is where I want to live. And then some people may be at the more mature side of their careers and maybe they're about to be retiring and they've already made up their mind, but they're doing research and figuring out. But it's a big part of it, I think, is that community and like finding that tribe,
Yeah.
and it really helps with the integration process. And I think what you're doing, like I just heard about your group 2 days ago from
Yeah.
Misty Memphis,
Yeah.
and I was like, this is amazing. And I wish I knew I would have helped you out, in any way. But obviously, you guys did a great job, and I'm here to support in any way that I can for future events or anything that you're doing, even if
Sure.
it's outside of Negril. I think what you're doing is so important. And then Misty, she has the Black Expats group on Facebook as well. And yeah, I think it's so important that we have to kind of come together and help each other out in any way, and especially with people who are kind of like one foot in, one foot out, maybe, or maybe just starting their journey, but speaking to people who are doing it, right? Speaking to people like
It's a
yourself who are
big
making it happen,
encouragement when you're watching people who are doing it and you
right?
start realizing, oh, this is actually attainable. And yeah, you have people from so many different walks of life, and then you find someone who sort of fits in where you're at, and you're like, oh, they're doing it. Okay, maybe I can figure this out. So yeah, it's really nice. But yeah, bringing that community together, that was like one of our first things is we partnered up with John Stamp, and he has a Facebook group as well, where he does like a lot of networking links, a lot of like official information. And we also work with Misty. And that's like my thing. Every welcome post, you get told about the other groups. Like, we're not in competition. We can all support each other. Like, yeah, I mean, there's no race to be like, I don't know, the most popular Facebook group that has it. It's just, let's get people to the island so that they can get home, be comfortable, and experience the freedom that, Jamaica can offer you.
What made you start the group in the first place? Like, what was the inspiration?
Well, there was another Facebook group that we were all a part of,
Okay.
and they were making some changes in how they were going to do things. And so, like, there was a sense that no one wanted to lose that Facebook group. And so, they had made their decision to do what they wanted to do. Big ups to them, because that was a big, big support. Like, so many people in that first group helped me, pick me up on side the road when a car broke down.
Wow.
So I realized the importance of having that community. And so when they were moving to a different platform, I was like, no, we got to keep as many people together as we can, because this thing, like, it's really important to have community. So yeah, I just was like, I know everyone's on Facebook. Got to try to keep who's here and just redo it. So
No, that's awesome. And I did a sit down, a podcast with Misty yesterday, and she was talking about the Black expats group of Negril that she formulated recently. And she said she got this question before multiple times, like, why do you need a Black expat group? Why can't it just be an expat group? And her response to that was that our our challenges that we face are different. The things that we're looking for are different, and it's important that we have people who can relate directly to those challenges from a cultural standpoint to even a transitioning standpoint. And that was like one of the main reasons that she did it. And it's just so great. Are any of your members from Negril?
Oh yeah, we have a lot of members
That's
in
so
Negril,
awesome.
yeah.
And so, like, even with Misty's group, like, I know some of the members that she has, but I mean, I think what you're doing, like, we should have like more of these. Is what I'm saying.
The link ups are
Yeah.
where it's at, because it brings people out, and then you get to realize, yo, this person just lives down the street from me. Like, and I didn't even know. You just see someone walking and you just think, oh, it's another tourist or whatever, but you don't make that connection. So yeah, I think it's really important to bring people out. And I mean, just on the why is it a Black group? Because I'm Black and I love Black people and I'm pro Black and I want to be around Black people. And I know I'm in Jamaica and it's all Black people, but I want to be around more Black people and every Black person that I can be around and help them. So that's my thing. And I think for a lot of people, you're leaving some sort of trauma in the West. You're policing in America or whatever the situation is in England. And I mean, for me in Canada, it's the same thing. I do a lot of, like I said, prison work, anti-policing work. That stuff sort of drains you. And then you come here and you're like surrounded by your people. You feel love, you feel freedom. You start doing community work. There's like no barriers. Like, you don't have, the news hating on you, talking about why so it's just, I just love the freedom. And so it's, for me, it's like really, it really makes me happy to just be able to focus in and help Black people.
No, that's awesome. And I think that that's one of the, what would I say, the underlying reasons that probably, maybe it does get emphasized, but is that freedom. And it's a feeling. It's not this like, oh no, freedom of moving back. Like, no, it's a feeling. And I remember I interviewed man, I forget her, Michelle Kenny. She does this diva group, mostly Black American women who come to Jamaica, and I believe they come multiple times a year. And the thing is, she was telling me about this experience she gets every time she comes to Jamaica. One is that humidity hitting you, but she just says that there is this weight that is lifted off of her that she can't even explain, where her shoulders just drop, and it's that freedom that she's talking about.
For me, I don't feel that weight until I leave. When I get here, I just feel so naturally comfortable that it's just like where you were supposed to be. Like, your body just, everything just feels right. And then it's like the drive to the airport when I gotta go home.
Yeah.
That's when I like start crying and getting all emotional, because I realize I gotta go back to the cold. I'm going back to the drama. And yeah, I find leaving is like very, very hard on me. Even like when I realize I'm like 2-3 days away, I just start getting depressed.
Man.
Like, and then when I land in the Toronto airport and I'm just like, and usually getting some sort of drama with a nut, like, just leave me alone. I was just in so much peace. And as soon as I come back, you got to ask me why I'm in this line. Like, why my bag here? Like, just leave me alone. I just had so much peace. So yeah, but I can totally relate to that feeling. Like when you come here, there is a peace like no other that comes over you, and you actually like. I almost feel like you feel like your true black self. Like it's not being held down. You're not like worrying about all these little things, microaggressions that we have to deal with. It's just so freeing, man. Like that weight is gone. Every part of your body just feels better. Like definitely, yeah.
That's awesome. I wish that for you to be your life at some point in time.
Soon. I'm there. I think this year is the first time I'm gonna make 4 months here. So like I said, every year it's like I'm stretching it out an extra week or two, and yeah, it's feeling good. So
Do you have a part of Jamaica that you are looking to call home?
yeah, I have property not too far from here, so Negril is pretty much gonna be home. I'm about 25 minutes away in the Caddo Spring Garden area, and we're building a food forest out there. It's been going pretty good. We're like everything's planted now. Well, not everything. There's always more to do, but lots of the planting is done. We're slowly starting to build our cabins, and yeah, so it's been a good 3 years in terms of just figuring out the property. Yeah.
And what's the food forest?
Um, Basically, the way we plant is everything is integrated. So you'll have a banana tree next to guava, next to carrot, like so we don't have like intentional farm plots where it's just like, all callaloo and rows. It's all integrated into a forest system. Basically, just we're replacing the forest with the same thing. So you have your high fruit trees and you have your lower shrubs, you have your ground provision. So, and then once you have that in place, it sort of takes care of itself naturally. So,
Okay.
it's a little less work in the long term, but a lot more upfront.
No, that's awesome. I could tell you so many people in this community are interested in farming. And to me, that's one of the best things about Jamaica is that you have all just natural food around you and it's just very easily accessible. It's just, I don't know, just part of my diet just without even trying.
The experience of like walking to your farm plot, grabbing a pineapple and just being able to eat it right there is just amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it's so fresh. It's so, yeah. So I've been really blessed that my business partner, Dr. Ajamu Nwagwe, he used to teach at UE, and he's sort of like he's a master farmer, and so he's been living at the property full time for the last 3 years, and he farms like crazy. And if anyone's ever seen his videos on YouTube, News has covered him a few times. It's like he knows how to farm.
Okay.
So I got really lucky to have a good partner that's into all the farming stuff. So
That's awesome. That's awesome.
it's really nice.
Can you tell us a little bit about the itinerary that you had this weekend for your group? I thought that was pretty
The
cool.
what, sorry?
The itinerary, the agenda that you had.
Yeah. So we started off with our meet and greet, and then we went to Margaritaville for the after party. The next day we did beach cleanup here on 7 Mile, and then Saturday was it was just like a beach afternoon. Let's let everybody chill, socialize. And I think that for me was really good because everyone was relaxed. You got to see the conversations. People were really interacting and like building their new community and people in their parish that they'll be able to call on. So that was good. Then we went out again for some more entertainment last night. And then this morning was our community brainstorm. And so we are trying to figure out what we can do to be more integrated in the community in terms of community work, trying to figure out what exists in the different parishes. So we're not trying to recreate the wheel and we can just go and support what's already there. And then trying to figure out, where can we maybe fill a need from the various, skill sets that the group members have. And then, we have some other ideas that we would like to implement, like a pop-up shop that's based on like donated items. Like, you could donate a bunch of items. We have a pop-up shop. We could sell things at, really affordable prices for the local population. And then we could use that money to reinvest in the community. And so, nonprofit all the way. Just make sure every dime goes back to the Jamaican people.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. You're doing amazing, amazing work. There's so many things. Like we got to talk off camera for sure. How long are you here for?
I'm here until July 25. So I'm around.
Awesome. Okay, we got time. And you're staying in Westmoreland?
Yeah, I'm just up, like just past downtown on West End Road.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, well, yeah, we got to get. I think we should since you're here for so long. I think we should do a proper sit down podcast and
Sure.
get this out, because I think a lot more people need to know about what you're doing, and I think there would be a lot of people in my community who would be interested in being a part of your
Sure.
community as well.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
we can get the word out. I know this was last minute, last second.
Yeah.
We just met. I do want to tell you about. I have a investment conference in November,
Okay.
and it's my community, kind of what you're doing, like my community coming here to Jamaica from like what you're doing all over the world, and they are looking to invest in real estate in Jamaica and the stock market, and then also the networking is also amazing, and the conference goers, but then also you have like direct access to like the real estate agents, bankers,
Nice.
the investment community, and then so many people who've already transitioned and moved here from different parts of the world that you have an opportunity to speak to. So, I mean, I would love for you to be there if you can be around.
I'm gonna try to come back for that.
Okay.
For sure. I'll figure that out in my calendar, because I want to do more. So I have to figure out who's here, who's doing what, and getting into those those communities so I can try to do more. So yeah,
Right.
for sure. I'd love to come to that.
Okay, definitely.
And you know what? One thing I would like to say though, I don't know if you've experienced this, but like within my group, there's not a lot of Black men that are returning.
Mhm.
Or maybe they're returning, but they're not joining these groups. So I know like most of the groups are predominantly the sisters, which is great. But like, where are all y'all brothers at? Like, have y'all returned? Are you here? Are y'all watching and listening? Like, let us, like, do you find that there's not a lot of brothers? I don't know.
It's so funny. Me and Missy were talking about it yesterday. Even her group is predominantly women. I think she said like 85, 90% of Black expats in Negril are women. I would say with the Thrive community, I would say we have a pretty good balance.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of like, I'd have to go back and look at pictures, but there are a good amount of men who had came to the. It's more women for sure,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's as drastic as Misty's numbers are. But it's a good point. It's a very, very good point that you raise, and I don't know why that is. I don't know if anybody in the comments could speak to that, but
We know them sisters is organized. The power in the Black community is, so they're gonna be on point. But I think I think there's room for us to like come out and be in these groups and start helping the sisters out about a lot more. I know one of the sort of compliments that I got this weekend is that on our admin team there's two men, me and Paul Prosper, and we end up like, I don't want to say we do all the work or anything like that, but we carry a fair amount of load to the point where the sisters are like, oh, this is so great. You lead the discussion. Paul's taking the secretary notes, and we ain't got to do nothing but just contribute to the conversation. Whereas a lot of times, the sisters are doing all the work and we're getting all the credit. So it's like, we need some brothers in here to help out a bit more so that we can, help the sisters out.
Yeah. No, I agree. Let's try to make that happen.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
I'm Lion Heights on Facebook, and also When Lions Speak on Instagram. I have a website, When Lions Speak, as well. And the Facebook group is Black Exodus Living Local in Jamaica.
Okay, let me just type that all out. And the Facebook group again, please.
Black Exodus Living Local in Jamaica. You'll notice we got like a Jamaican flag and a picture of a goat. I'm obsessed with the goats over here. I think they're underappreciated how smart they are. So look for the goat logo and you'll see us.
Okay. All right, so I'm just putting this all up. Find you.
And just make sure you answer the little questions that you got to follow through. We're just big on making sure that everyone understands, to be respectful in the community and treat everyone properly,
Yeah, sorry, let me just take this ND filter off. Much better. Yeah. All right, so I got it on there. I just want to make sure I got it right. So it's IG is When Lions Speak, and Facebook is Black Exodus Living Local in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, please, everybody, check that out. Check Israel out and what he's doing and his group is doing. And we're definitely going to do this again
Sure.
and get much deeper into everything that you're doing. How long are you going to be here and Travelers for?
I'm gonna go hang out on the beach. Some of our group members are still tagging around, so I'll be around for a minute.
Okay, when I wrap up, we'll exchange
Yeah, for sure.
contact
All right.
and chat a little bit.
All right. Thank you very much for having me, and shout out to all y'all watching.
Okay, thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
All right,
Thanks.
see you in a bit. Right. So that was pretty cool. How to take the opportunity. He's doing amazing stuff, as you just heard. I thought it was just like very important to grab him because they pretty much did like a full takeover at Italian Cafe. Yet was it Friday? I think it was. And as you're hearing, like he's just doing really awesome work, and very important community work as well. I do want to hop into, man, these clouds are getting a little ominous. All right, let's go back to the, okay, great. Glad you found the Facebook group. All right. Camille says, I like how spontaneous the show is. Yeah. You never know. You never know what you're going to get here on a Sunday, or who's going to pop by. And I only had one mic set up, and then I was just kind of setting everything up, and he came over and introduced himself. I was like, man, you want to come on? I'm doing this live stream. And then we were like, yeah, let's do it. And yeah, it worked. Okay, let's get into some of your comments. B still says, I think men think that they know it all. I have been watching for a while and introduced this show to my husband, but she is not the best, at least in bit. It's not at least bit interested. Gotcha. Michelle says, found the Facebook group. Awesome. Shane Love Coaching says he can probably create a pathway program, work volunteer, etc. Something similar to attract more people to the growing community. Good idea. Joe says Negril is like a subculture within Jamaica. It reminds me of Williamsburg and Brooklyn. It attracts a certain type of person. That's a good way to look at it, Joe. I never thought of it like that, but yeah, that is for sure. And like I always say that, I've said this multiple times before, like Negril is really a place like you can very easily find your own lane and your own way, and you can do Negril, you could do Jamaica like your way here, and it's a very, like, Jamaica's already liberal, but I feel like Negril is like more liberal than other parts of the country, and definitely more of a live and let live, and you do your thing. I mean, as long as you're not bothering another person or another, like you can kind of do your own thing within reason, and yeah, you can really find your own pathway, your own community here, because there are a lot of community. I'm just thinking through like also Facebook communities and how they're all based around Negril, but they're all super niche as well. But everybody comes together. The Creative Den says, I would love to connect with him. You please do. Hit him up on Instagram and also on Facebook. I'll throw up his contact info after we get through some of these comments. Michelle says, what a wonderful, intelligent, articulate brother. When he said, just leave me alone, I really felt the pain he's had to endure in the West. Jamaica will heal you, brother. I wish I told him that. I wish I saw that and told him. Kind words, Michelle. Just going to screenshot it. I want to get his contact info. I'm going to send him your comment, Michelle. DP Carib says, we don't have paradise. We are paradise. Creative Dan says, very true. As I arrive, it's like my body depressed and all the stress is lifted. Awesome. Mark McCarthy says, what we need to realize is that the future of Jamaica is us, and we have to put our hearts and hands and minds together to make this architecture work and come to one. So this is like, I would say, like, I was talking about doing that video, doing that React video. Maybe we'll do it next week, as a matter of fact, with the gentleman who's deciding to move to Rwanda instead of to Jamaica for his various reasons. And this is like kind of my, without watching the full video, is like this is kind of my conclusion. What Mark just said here, like my thesis, if you will, is that it's really us that's going to make the difference. And I will probably repeat this exact same thing next week. And that is like when we look at other cultures and other countries that have taken themselves from, these are democratic countries, that has taken themselves from within a generation, I would say, has taken themselves from either poverty or extreme poverty to being a prosperous nation. It's the people who have done it. And I would say the one caveat to that would be literally striking gold or oil sort of thing. But that again, my opinion again is that it's going to be us, and it's going to be us, the ones who have the global experience, who have the education, who have the foresight, and also most importantly of all, have the commitment to Jamaica and to our country to bring it to the potential that we know it all can be at. And that is, again, would be my overall argument to that video, which we haven't even seen yet. And I was speaking with a friend last night, as a matter of fact, and I was just talking about like just differences in culture. And me and my brothers and my dad, when I was doing my MBA, I was taking this class on succession planning. And during that class, my brothers, Winfield Wingate, and then my dad, they flew up to Boston and they did this class with me on succession planning of the transition of business from one generation to the next. And it was a really super, super eye-opening experience for all of us. One, it prepared us for a journey that we were all about to embark on together. And it foreshadowed a lot of the challenges that we were going to be facing within our family in enduring this transition process that we did not anticipate. And so that was that one aspect. And there were so many parts of it that we were like, oh, that would never happen to us, or we'd never talk to each other that way. And there were so many elements and that we learned that we said would never happen, that it did happen. And luckily, I feel like we were prepared for these things that were going to happen, and we were able to overcome them. And it took some time and some challenges, of course, and teething process. And I think as a family and a family business, we are better for it. The second big thing that at least I took away from that experience, is the other families that were there. And so the other families that were there, they were various different types of businesses from all over the world, as far as European families, but there were a lot of Latin families. And I went to Babson, and that's a big school for Latin. Like it's a very prestigious school for many Latin families to send their children to. And well, they're not really children, they're grown adults, but you know what I'm saying. But anyway, what I learned from these families, and these are families that many of them are like 5, 6, 7 generations of succession planning the transition from one generation to another. They've done this many, many times before. And what I was so impressed with, particularly with the Latin families, was how organized they were. They were ran like Fortune 500 companies, and they had corporate governances, they had constitutions, they had board of directors that were outside of their family. And you actually had to, many of them, there were these stipulations of how you are able to get into the family business. It's like one of those things, like as a kid, your goal is like, man, I want to work for my family business. I want to be a part of this when I get older. And many of them were talking about like, you have to have at least 2 years experience at a Fortune 500 company. You have to have at least one postgraduate degree, on and on and on and on. My point is that it's very counter, I would say, at least to my experience here in Jamaica, and particularly in Negril, to the succession planning. I would even almost say the lack of succession planning that I see sometimes here, but it's very counter to that. And they have put in things in place for when they are long gone, like the heads of the families. And it's ran, again, I'm just thinking about like how impressed I was. It's ran so much like these big multinational corporations. And we began thinking like that as a family. And we began thinking of really about our great grandkids. And we understood that it was, and it is our responsibility, me and my brothers, it's our responsibility to lay this foundation so that this business, whatever it becomes while we run it and that however we expand, that it becomes this thing that is going to be going on for generations and generations. And we have to set the foundation. Although our father has set the foundation in a huge way for sure, but when it comes to capitalizing on all the things that he has implemented in the business that he has built, now it's our responsibility, me and my brother's responsibility, to make sure that this is around for generations and generations, and we make sure that the history of all of this is documented, and that we give them, our great grandkids, the best opportunity possible. That we'll never meet them, well, we will never see them, but this is like our thinking. And so, bringing it back to the Africa video with this gentleman, it's like this is the type of thinking I think we have to have as a country. And those Latin families, they're not thinking about building up America. They're not thinking about building up Canada or the UK. These are already established first world countries. They're thinking about building up their communities and their Latin homes. And even like the Mexican families, like, no disrespect to Mexico, but we hear all the time what's going on in Mexico, the killings, the kidnappings. Like, we don't have any of that, the cartels, etc. And I'm not saying that to put Mexico down or anything. I'm saying that they have their challenges with crime and violence, just like we have here in Jamaica. But trust me, all my Mexican friends that went to my school and they had family businesses, they all went back to their family business. And many of them went back and started their own businesses in Mexico. And I graduated at 28, and everything that is happening in their country, it did not deter them from going back. And their mindset was like, I'm building up my community, I'm building up my country. I'm not going to use my skill set, my education to build up another country. And I don't knock anybody for doing that. I just heard some thunder. I don't knock anybody for doing that whatsoever. And I think it comes down to personal choice. I think it comes down to what is going to make you happy, and whatever opportunity that you may have that you think will be in the best interest for you and your family and hopefully future generations. But my point in saying all this is that the mindset and approach is different from a cultural standpoint. And it really took that class for me to realize and understand what that is. And one of my classmates, her family was in the bicycle business in the Dominican Republic, and they had multiple locations, and she was so passionate about bicycles. And she had this huge sense of obligation to build her business and build out her family business and to build her country and to build her community. And the Dominican Republic has its challenges with crime and violence as well, but she's not going to Spain. She's not going to another country or staying in America. Like, she's going to build her business. She's going to help build her family's business and build on the legacy that her father has established. And there are so many examples, so many examples that I can remember and I can think of as I was going through that course. And I believe it's very, very, very important that us as Jamaicans, we take a little page out of that book. And if we don't, trust me, as is already happening, people see the potential in Jamaica. They see what we are literally letting slip through our fingers and letting slip through our hands. And when I see certain headlines happen, and it's very, very unfortunate when anybody loses their life over avoidable situations and circumstances. It's very unfortunate, and I'm sorry that that does happen. But it's also important that we are able to see the bigger picture, those of us that can, and also to do something about it and be part of the solution more than anything else, and not allow these things to deter us from helping our community and our country reach its full potential. And again, I fully believe in that. And if my Latin compatriots can do it, and they're doing it in countries and many countries that I would say arguably are a lot more violent than Jamaica in many, many different ways. And if they are doing it, I don't see why we shouldn't be doing it. And I don't see why we shouldn't be thinking like this and taking into consideration the great opportunity that we have in Jamaica. And especially like also just like please put things in context as well when certain statements are made in terms of where Jamaica was even when I first moved here and where Jamaica is now. It's an incredible, incredible difference. And we've made incredible, incredible progress in the 18 years that I've been here. Some may argue that it's slow moving, for sure. You can say that, but progress nonetheless. And I think it's huge progress. And when you look at the trajectory that we are on as a country, what's coming in, who's interested in Jamaica, even the slight shift in mindset that I would even say that we are having here and how people think about Jamaica, it's mega. It really is mega. And we have to give ourselves credit for this. And we have to put things in perspective. And I hope we begin to do that in a bigger way than before, we have before. And that we get away of this from the sensationalization of things that are happening, but please just let's put it in context, right? And let's take a little page out of our Latin brothers and sisters and realize that we have something great here and we have something magnificent. And I think we have a lot to learn from them. Sorry, that rant came out of nowhere. But let's get over to the comments, see what you guys are saying. Oh, thanks for the comment, Mark. You inspired that rant there. What's going on, O'Neill? Chiming in from Bushwick, Brooklyn in the house. Hey, Ann, good to see you. Alfonso Ware says, I'm 100% in the belief that in 5 to 10 years from now, Jamaica will be one of, if not the number one place expats from the US, Canada, and England in particular will migrate to. Jamaica is on the rise. It absolutely is. It absolutely is in a big way. And I think, again, like Mark is saying, we're saying that we, I hope a lot of us feel like there's a bit of a responsibility to help get the country to where we all know it can be and should be. And I believe we will. I honestly believe we will. Joe says, well said, Throp. I agree with you 100%. Thank you, Joe. Dr. Johnson, I agree with you as well. It's important to bring our skill set back to Jamaica. Absolutely. Hey, Simone, blessed Sunday, Throp and Throppers. Agree with Mark McCarthy. Coco and Coco, I ensure sunny, but we're starting to hear the thunder. Yep, it's definitely coming. Natasha, I'm definitely returning to Jamaica to be part of the solution. Excellent. HB 100. The creative den beautifully said. I've always believed that the mentality of so many of our people has to change. I agree. HB says a lot of Black Americans moving to Jamaica. Tons. And I didn't realize this is like a huge movement. Like it really is a huge movement. And it's many Black Americans that have no affiliation with Jamaica from a bloodline perspective, but they love it here. As Israel was saying when he was sitting down with me just a few minutes ago, that they have a great sense of freedom that they don't experience in America, let's say, or in North America, where he's from Canada. So it's happening. People are doing it. There are a lot of trailblazers. There are lots and lots of trailblazers. And I think that's important, that there are people that you can relate to that perhaps are doing what you are aiming to do, and that you can see that it is possible, and other people can see that it's possible for you to live here and to have maybe in many ways a better life, a freer life, as Israel was saying, less stressful life. Natasha says, we have to be the change we want to see in Jamaica. I truly believe that. Chris PW says, hey, looks dark today. Yep, this rain is definitely coming. I'm ready to run and grab that camera any second. HB says, I love the rants. Glad you do. Appreciate it. Junior Char says, and what I noticed as well, Throp, he's trying to convince people, are his viewers, to not invest in Jamaica, trying to burst a bubble. A lot of these YouTube on the same agenda. Yeah, it's crazy, And I understand, like, Jamaica has some frustrating points for sure, and he talks a lot. I mean, I got up to the point he was talking about the potholes, and potholes are bad. Like, I can't even front. Even the video we just did a drive through of Negril, and you saw some of those roads that we that we have. And yes, we should push for it. We should absolutely push for it, and we should make it happen. And but it's like it's embarrassing too, for sure. It's like super embarrassing, especially along like roads that our visitors are coming into, and like this is like how you're going to welcome people to Jamaica for the first time, that we want to come back, we want them to come back over and over again. So like I don't in any way, I'm not trying to say that filling potholes and having good roads isn't important. It's super, super important, and we need it. And it's costing the country a lot with car repairs and accidents and even loss of life when people have to avoid the road, etc. So my point is, I get it, but is that enough for you to not come here? Is that enough for you to tell people not to invest here because of potholes? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. He talked a lot about his frustration with doing business here. You know, I don't want to get into it like in this way. I really want to watch the video together and we'll like go through it piece by piece. Like we'll go through it next week. But there's just, I don't know why you would say not to invest here and not to be a part of it. And I agree, like what Alfonso said, in 5 to 10 years, like I truly believe this guy's going to eat his words. And I can't wait to say, I told you so, you know? And I wish it was more like, and I haven't watched the video fully, but I wish it was more like, hey, I wish you well. I want Jamaica to do it, blah, blah, blah. But he's, you know, to discourage people from coming here. I'm like, okay. Maybe we'll have him on the show as a matter of fact, you know, then, and to really hear what he has to say. I know he made a video and everything like that, but who knows? Camille Lewis is asking, who is he? I came a bit late. So it's this. So I'll just put up the video here so you can see. So his channel, I guess this is his channel, GBA. He said, I'm planning on retiring in Africa instead of Jamaica. And we're not going to watch it today. We're going to save this for next week, and we'll go through a breakdown of this video. It's quite lengthy. It's 25, about almost 26 minutes. And we, HP's like, oh, him. Yeah, him. And so this is the video. So I want to do this together. So we're going to do this next week. And it's not to like, I'm not trying to hate on him or anything like that. And I'm not trying to bring him down in any way. But a lot of the things I would say, the subject matters that he has brought up have been, what would I say, surface level arguments. And then some of them are, I would say, are concerns. Again, I don't think it's anything to the point where like, man, don't go to Jamaica. Like, come on. But we'll get to that. Donna Bryce says, well said, Throp, agree with you 100 with what you said. Thank you. Copeland says, we Jamaicans don't know what we have. There's a big element of that. There's a big element of that. And going back to my example with my Latin classmates, is that they know what they have, you know, and they're not, I mean, I'm sure, like, yeah, of course, different Latin American countries, I'm thinking of Mexico, like they are definitely welcoming foreign direct investment from American companies I know of, and so are we here in Jamaica. And so, like, when you see that, when you see like these, especially like, let's take the hotel industry, that's our number one industry here in Jamaica. When you see these huge multinational foreign companies coming into Jamaica and investing literally billions and billions of US dollars, they see something. They see a potential here, and they know something. When a group like that has that amount of money, what they also have is an incredible amount of information. And I'm not saying just to go off of that alone, and that should be your reasoning as to why you should move here and invest. Not at all. But it is a data point, and I think it's an important data point, as a matter of fact. And when I see these things, I'm just like, man, there's something here. What do they know? Like, I would beg you to kind of ask yourself this question, is like, what do they know that I don't know? Why aren't they going to this place? Why aren't they going to that place? They're choosing to invest these billions in Jamaica. Let's investigate. Let's go a little bit further. What could possibly be the reason why they are seeing all these things in the headlines in the news, and they still, irrespective of that, they still want to come here. They still want to bring all their clients here and guests from all over the world to come here to the shores of Jamaica. So yes, we have a lot here. We have incredible potential here. I wouldn't even say Jamaica's a diamond in the rough. Like, we are a diamond. We just need to recognize and appreciate this diamond a little bit more. Mark McCarthy, thank you guys. I'm a part of the Soliton Boots on the Ground Foundation, and 1 foot in here in New York and 1 foot on the rock. Awesome. Be still, I agree with you, and I believe that is why a platform like this is so important. I believe for us who are overseas and have a new vision of on many things, we need to put our brains together to bring change. Yes. And even with the Black Exodus group, it's going to take collaboration. And like, I never knew about this group, and they came here and they were staying at not staying, but they came in, they're spending a day here at Travelers. And you better believe like we're going to be in touch and we're going to be collaborating, and I'm going to be helping them, and I'm sure they're going to be helping me in other ways. And hopefully, if there are opportunities to work together, and I can open up opportunities for them and for their group members, and we could build community. And I really like a community-minded individual like Israel, and then also that of his group members. And they were having this brainstorming session about how we can give back to the community and how we can build community. Like, this is so important. These discussions need to happen. And if we don't do it, or if they don't do it, like, who else is going to do it? If they decide that, like, I don't want, and if we have this everybody had this gentleman's mindset, it's like, man, what impact could we have had that we don't, because we have this mindset that Jamaica is this and Jamaica is that. Miss Coco, those potholes are no worse than the ones in Philly, and we're supposed to have a budget for it. Not to mention, a huge chunk of the newly renovated I-95 fell apart. Yeah, and I heard about that. That really sucks. I'll also say the same thing about the potholes in New York. Like, they're craters, like craters. Like, it's the absolute worst, So I didn't even want to go down that path, but I'm glad somebody else brought it up instead of me. Alfonso Worth says the government is undertaking the largest road infrastructure project in Jamaican history. 2 new highways are under construction as we speak, and they just allocated $40 billion to build and upgrade Highway 2000. I mean, yep, a lot of money going into that. So, like I said, I think a lot of this is going to be like short-term conversations that we're having, short-term problems, very, very short-term problems. Chris PW says, Throp, so he's saying that the roads are better in Africa. Yeah, so he's in Rwanda. So I will agree. Sorry, I thought I heard rain. I will agree. So when I was in, not Soweto, when I was in South Africa, their roads are magnificent, like absolutely way better than Jamaica. I mean, there's just no comparison. And ignorant me, I didn't expect that. I did not expect that. I was like, wow, this whole city, like going through Johannesburg, definitely Cape Town, roads way better than Jamaica, way better than New York. Tell you that right now. I was thoroughly impressed. So he was talking about Rwanda. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it at all, because I've experienced it my firsthand in South Africa at the beginning of this year. RB chiming in from New York City. Good to see you. Natural Yard. The guy in Rwanda has some good points. I don't think he's encouraging anyone not to invest in Jamaica. I agree. I do think he has some good points as well, but I do think some of his points are sensationalized and surface level. But we'll get into it next week. Or in Gizcom, foreigners are taking advantage of what we have in Jamaica. I think so too. Claudette Christian, Copeland, that is so true. Right now, I'm trying to decide to move back, being away for 30-something years. You never knew what you have till you start visiting. I love my country. Awesome. HB said the crime rate is low in certain African countries. Aside from that, I don't see a difference with Jamaica. Kigali roads are immaculate, better than U.S. for sure. All right, and so that's the gentleman, that's Israel's contact information. So for those that were asking earlier, That is his Instagram and his Facebook. So if you want any more information on the Black Exodus Living Local in Jamaica group, it's a Facebook group. Join the group on Facebook, and also you can follow him on Instagram as well. I think what he's doing is super, super important and very, very powerful in a big, big way. Alfonso Worth says, put this in perspective. The newly appointed World Bank president and the IDB president was just in Jamaica last week. The World Bank president chose to visit Jamaica first. Let that sink in a minute. I think that was a big deal. I thought that just kind of blazed over a lot of people. I was like, yo, this is this is a huge deal. Huge, huge deal. So good point, Alfonso. Good point. Always coming with the gems. Appreciate it. All right, let me take that down. All right, I do want to hop back to a few comments. I should have saved the comment, but I just remember Joe talking about the my ability, if you will, to ride around Negril without fear because I'm a male, and then also somebody had mentioned because of my status, if you will, people know me here in Negril, that nobody's going to bother me type thing. And so, Joe, like I completely recognize your point, and I understand that I do have a privilege of being a male and not having a certain worry, like riding around and also running. And that's I think that's a completely fair point. And I think as a woman that every precaution necessary should be taken when exercising, biking, running, walking, whatever it is. Not only just here in Jamaica, but like anywhere. And I don't know if when you were saying, I think maybe you were alluding to Brooklyn or talking about Brooklyn. I think or New York. I think the same thing. So kind of just, bringing it back to me and how I exercise, and also I guess directly addressing the point of me being somebody who's known here in Negril. My approach is the same anywhere. Of course, I do, I don't throw caution to the wind. I do research. I ask people locally. So when I was in Johannesburg, for example, and Johannesburg is a legitimately it's a dangerous place. Like even the locals were telling me like it is super dangerous here, and pickpockets and being stuck up is like kind of like a normal thing. Even one friend that I met, her neighbors, they were like, home invasions are like a pretty much a regular part of life there. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, and I'm not over sensationalizing it at all. Car theft, another big thing in South Africa. When I was in it was in Johannesburg, I went to a mall with a friend that I met there, and we were coming out, and when leaving the mall, I forget what she had to show. Maybe it was her keys. I think it was her keys or something. But before we left, we had to check with security to show them that this was indeed your vehicle. I mean, that's how rampant car theft is. So, bringing it back to me running in Johannesburg. So the first couple of days, like I was running with my phone, and I was I was doing like my Instagram vlogs or whatever, and running around without a care in the world. And they told me, they were like, "Oh my God, like you cannot do that." And I was running like really early in the morning, like not a lot of people, but they were telling me like, "You cannot do that. Somebody is going to take your phone and somebody's going to rob you." Like point blank, period. They just told me you can't. So after that, I didn't run with my phone, which I don't like doing anyway. I was just kind of running for if I got lost. And when I did run without my phone, I actually did get lost. And this was what I was telling in the driving video, that I had to ask somebody. I think she was running. I think she was exercising in the morning as well. And I had to ask her how to get back to my hotel. But as dangerous as Johannesburg is and everything like that, like I didn't run in fear. And again, I know that's a privilege of being a male, but then also like I run like being just aware of my surroundings. And then
as I also said in the video, like I don't have anything on me. Like even if somebody did rob me and or try to, they're just not going to get anything. Like I don't have a phone, I don't have a wallet, I don't have any money, and I mean, hopefully, like they're not trying to just like take my life away or anything like that. But I don't think like it's ignorant of me to do that. I'm very much a person of like kind of what you put out there is like what you receive, and then also I do, again, I feel like I do my research and I'm conscious like not to go in certain neighborhoods, and I ask people at the front desk and then around like where do I go, where do I not go, and I listen to them. Like I'm not going to throw caution to the wind. I'm not going to just do something just to do it, and I'm trying to think of like other places, like same thing in New York, in Brooklyn. I don't run with my phone. I don't run with anything on me. And if something happens, same thing here in Negril. So I don't, I don't know. I just don't move around the world in fear in that sense. But I do try to be careful. Joe says, I have a road bike down the West Side Highway by myself and never worried. I don't know where I would do that. Yeah, I wouldn't. I honestly, as a single female, I would not recommend that. I would not recommend going riding by yourself. Like you should be with somebody for sure. I think like riding here on the path, like on the beach road, like during the day or in the morning, I don't think that's I can't see that being a problem. I mean, that would be like an anomaly. Like honestly, not to say it won't happen, but still, I would say let's use our heads here, like no matter what. Michelle says, Throp, like you, I used to walk/jog for miles along the North Coast, St. Mary and Portland. I was sensible, aware of my surroundings, but certainly jogged without fear. Yep. And like I also don't have my headphones in. So like I don't run with music. Like I'm not a target. Like, and that's anywhere. Like you, if you see me running, like you don't see like that I'm completely unaware, and that's like both for traffic awareness and then also just like my personal awareness as well. Is just like showing people like I'm aware, I can hear you, I'm paying attention. But I would also say like do whatever you think is works for you and what you're comfortable with. Errol says, some say Africa has less crime, maybe, but a civil war can break out in Africa at any minute. Last thing on my mind in Jamaica. And I think that like that's one of the greatest strengths of Jamaica is the political stability. We're always very, very high in that. We have high political stability. Are we worried about a coup or some sort of tribal takeover or anything like that? Like no, not even close. Like at least that's not on my mind. Shayna says it looks like it will be raining soon. Yep, it definitely will. Blooming Rose says civil war can break out in Africa at the last minute. A bit stereotypical. Plus, Africa is a continent, not a country. Yeah. I think that's a good point as well. Blooming Rose. Yeah, there's definitely different elements of different parts of Africa, and there are certainly more established parts of Africa than others, especially like certain northern African countries, and then also, yeah, Africa is very, very different, but I don't think civil war is, to your point, Blooming Rose. Civil war is just, I would say, when you're comparing the two, like civil war is just not something that I don't think is going to happen in Jamaica. Do I think it's going to happen in Rwanda again? No. Ethiopia and Eritrea? I don't know. I don't know. That's a genocide. That's a war that happened within our lifetime. I mean, at least even Rwanda is actually a matter of fact. But like I said, even with the gentleman, like do what makes you happy, do your research. Whatever your concerns are, hopefully you address them in your own way that makes it comfortable for you and your family. Coco and Coco said Jamaica Negril was awesome in the 60s, 70s. In the 80s, 90s, and 2000, nothing monumental changed on the island, but since around 2010's new central part of Caribbean Highway 2000 MBJ expansion, the future is bright. I agree. I totally agree.
And there's a lot coming on board, and I hope people recognize that. And with this gentleman in Africa, we're gonna go through it, and I'm probably definitely gonna reach out to him, and I would love to hear him directly instead of uh, just watching his video, which we'll do next week, which we'll definitely do next week for sure. Andrew Blick says, good content today. Thank you very much. Oh, great content. Sorry, great content today. Thank you very much. Oren says, good day, Throp. I'm very late today, but I'm here. Trust you are well, my brother. Happy Sunday, all Throppers. Happy Sunday to you as well, Oren. I think we're going to wrap it up here. That rain is definitely coming in, and I don't want to have to rush out there to get the camera. I thought this was a great live stream. I think we a little bit all over the place. We started with the drive-through. We had our guest on. We started talking about Africa or Rwanda, but I thought this was a good one today for sure. For sure. Okay, let's play our going away music here. So I think we start. Hold on, is it next week? What's today's date? We start the second. We're starting it's next week. So we start our Thursday live stream again. So we'll be doing 2 live streams a week right through the fall, starting next week, as a matter of fact. So we're going to be doing the Sunday live stream as usual, and then we're going to be doing the Thursday live stream, and that's going to be one dedicated primarily to Thrivex 2023. So hopefully the idea is we're going to have a guest every Thursday, but we're going to try. Who knows? We'll be able to pull that off. This was a good Sunday. I'm glad you guys all came through. Havrika, how you doing? Says yes, love the spontaneity and the realness. Thank you. Rachel says great live Throp. Have a great week to all. Miss Cole, everyone, great listening to you today, Throp. Thank you. Donna Bryce, great discussion. Have a great week, Throp. Natasha, awesome live. Appreciate the community. Carly Soul, enjoyed the conversation. Shayna, have a great week ahead, everyone. Stay hydrated. Yes, stay hydrated. Remember to drink your water. Thank you, Shayna. Very dehydrated yesterday. Natasha York, have a great week. Yes, thank you all for joining. I'm going to leave you there with the very cloudy beach, and have a great week. And we got a podcast coming out later in the week on education in Jamaica. Thanks for spending part of your Sunday with me today. Have a great week, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye.